What's going on, fellas and ladies, human beings, fellow humans, earthlings? It's July 5th. I'm a little hungover, so excuse the glasses, but lots going on. Antifa, we all know that they beat the crap out of the reporter last weekend. Well, apparently it just dropped that somebody infiltrated the Washington wing of Antifa, where they exposed their plans for the 6th of July, which is this Sunday. And they pretty much said they're going to do whatever possible to shut this speech down. They stressed how the last freedom of speech rally was the Charlottetown rally, and they're using that to really juice their base. They're mainly concentrating on making sure they have more bodies in DC than the Patriots do. So, Patriots anywhere near the Washington area, unless you have something better to do, why don't we make sure Antifa's numbers don't outcount ours? Calling on all patriots in that area. So get out there, support your president. I mean, these guys there was mention of acid, pouring acid on people. Okay, if they pour acid on the public, I mean, they're already using bats, they're already using tasers, pepper spray, knives. The 6th, I feel like, has great potential to be the spark of what I think is the inevitable civil war in this country. So that being said, if you can get out to Washington by the 6th and support our patriots that are going to be out there, just because this is supposed to be a pretty large numbers event. So the first and foremost responsibility of every American, especially if you're a male within the ages of 18 and 45, is to protect your homeland and your brothers. So again, within 2 hours, 3 hours, it's Friday night, guys. You can get out there. I'm going, by the way. So I'll see you out there. That's the last thing I have to say about that. So let's see. Trump today. Yeah. So he comes out today on a press conference and starts immediately banging on the Fed. I guess he feels like it's time to move on and start beating that drum again, which was awesome because he said, our economy's doing so great, but imagine what it'd be doing if the Fed would do what they're supposed to do and lower interest rates. We'd be like a rocket, but they won't because, quote, we have a untruthful or I may be wrong on the word, but he said that they are untrustworthy. We have an untrustworthy Fed. That was pretty awesome. So he's back attacking the central banks again, which is, we'll get to that in a minute. He's talking presidential order on the census to include the question, are you a legal citizen or not? Which I agree with. Of course, I think you know that, but they are fighting it tooth and nail. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll report back on it. After Trump talks about 4th of July and how it went, which we need to talk about the 4th of July too, because there's a really interesting oddity about the 4th of July. There was, a little wave of people thinking possibility that JFK may show his face on the 4th. And there was also a lot of people that thought that the Mount Rushmore fireworks were going to go back to Mount Rushmore, which they are, but next year, not this year. So somehow, and I get it, Q says disinformation is necessary, but I'm trying to figure this one out. Because I'm trying to remember who I heard say it, but I even remember him claiming that they were going to do the Mount Rushmore fireworks this year. And that JFK, now I don't know if this is the way I heard it. I'm not saying this is what I believe, but it is talking. People are on it. That JFK would be his running mate in 2020, not Mike Pence, because Pence is a pedophile. There's no proof of him touching a child, but there is absolute proof of him watching them walk through the gates of his state and pass with immunity as a governor, which I think, I'm sorry, it's just freaking bad. Everybody's trying to take up for him, but he ain't an actual pedophile. He just let it operate. It's the same thing. Okay? Let's get that straight. If you had anything to do with it, if you knew anything about it, the sin is yours too. You might as well have done it. So if you thought you were holding back and you're not going to get as much trouble as the sickos actually doing the acts, sorry. I mean, you might in the court of law, but not in the greater scheme of things. So moving on. I digress. Okay, so after all that, the MSM, all they want to talk, they bring up Russia again. I just wanted to say that. I don't know why. I mean, it's just amazing at this point. So we talked about the Mount Rushmore thing. And he has not. Okay, we do need to say this, though, because you have to be fair, I feel like. He did not say he is going to have Pence as his running mate yet. He said he's keeping it open, okay? And they are doing the fireworks at Mount Rushmore next year. And there were some interesting little stories about JFK Jr.'s possible appearance at that event. Some may think coincidence. Some may think 1 year early warning. You never know. But we will find out. So then Biden's back out there today. This guy. I don't know why he doesn't know that he's totally ruined and he's not going to go anywhere in this race. There's so much freaking dirt on him. His son even put out an article, which the MSM tried to spin that it was just about drugs. I guess people were too lazy to read it themselves. But no, there was talk in there of doing business with Chinese businessmen while his dad was visiting in the Ukraine, but he did stress that his dad didn't influence. It was totally on the up and up. So you take that the way you want, but if you look at other evidence that's out there, talks of him making $1 billion, getting $1 billion for something from our government as soon as he left. It's pretty sticky. So, plus, Biden's a creep. I mean, you can say he's affectionate or he's just old-fashioned all you want, but some of these freaking pictures are creepy, guys. And they're not deep fakes. They're not. I mean, because I remember those pictures from when they happened. I know for a fact, I went through this. I was very aware when It was not that long ago, guys. They're not fake. I don't know why I'm saying that. I heard people talking about that. Oh, you can't believe anything, any pictures you see. Well, you can if you actually remember when it happened. If you just see a picture of a subject that you know nothing about, yeah, sure, you don't know. But I watched it on the news. So I saw the pictures, but you get it. I'm loving this Harris, that's all I know is her last name, the Democratic, one of the front runners, district attorney, very well spoken, but it's her birth certificate issue that's coming up, like Obama popping up, that's very interesting. Or one parent's from Hawaii and one's from Vietnam. So we'll see where that goes, because I don't want her to go anywhere. She's a total freaking give it all to you free socialist and just give us all the power. So the Kim and Trump thing, that was pretty awesome. As usual, when pretty impressive things happen with Trump, it's very played down and doesn't get the coverage it deserves. It's happened over and over and over. The man has restored pride to vets by giving them proper health care now and services, with improving the facilities, the employees. You can fire them now. It used to be they treat them like crap and they're in unions and couldn't be fired. He fixed that. They can be fired. You treat our vets right and give them good medical care, or you're fired. He got nothing for that. Kim and him are working out a deal, guys. Don't believe the fake news. I'm sorry. He's the only president that ever stepped into North Korea. He wouldn't have done that as a show. If him and Kim were not working it out, I don't think Trump would have had the gall to trust him enough to even go in there to fake that they're working it out. I don't think Kim would let him come into their country unless he didn't feel, I think he would let him come in the country, I should say, as long as he didn't feel disrespected by Trump. So, and usually situations like that, if neither party feels disrespected, then that definitely means things are going well. So, it's the order of things. There is a plan here. The plan was always to shut down North Korea, go to Iran, and what I mean is flush out. Well, you started in Syria. Syria, North Korea, Iran, and Israel. Each has a deep state faction of what you would call black hats in the government. And the other half is splintered into the white hats. Each government has two factions making decisions and doing acts that sometimes it's hard to blame it on which side of which government did it. Like in Iran, when they shot down our drone. Anyone informed knows that was a deep state black hat operative inside of the People's Iran government, meaning not legally there. A coup, a bad faction that has taken over Iran and does not like Trump because he took away the Iran deal and is not letting them get their excuse to attack Israel and kick off World War III. So there will not be a scuff with Iran. There will not be a scuff with North Korea. There wasn't a scuff with Syria. He shut down the Al-Qaeda, the ISIS faction that was left in Syria. That was it. He went in and shut that shit down real quick. Took what, 2 days? And this was the motherfuckers that 2 other presidents couldn't root out in 12 years? He is going to make these deals, Iran included, and he did save Israel for last because Israel is our tightest ally. Yet they too have a deep-rooted black hat globalist infestation that has to be rooted out in a way that they don't hurt the Israel people or take them as maybe like some sort of captives in order to have an edge over Trump. Because that is what these people will do. They know that Israel is special to every Christian on this planet. That's why they're last. That's why we're saving them for last. That's their biggest asset. So all this is going to work out. You can believe it or you don't. I personally do. Because when that's done, it's over. Because China and Russia are already, as far as the globalist agenda goes, are on the same page with Trump, and have been since before he got elected. I mean, I don't know about Kim, but I know the first meeting they had, they said, listen, we can make this trade deal happen. None of this crap, it doesn't matter. One thing we got to agree on is these guys got to go. Because they're in China too. Reportedly, Russia has pretty much cleaned theirs out. I think maybe Russia might be the first one to like really get their independence. But don't get me wrong, I don't think we're friends. We are cordial, but cautious with China. Same with Russia. There's no collusion here. This is simply, you could take 3 people that don't get along together, but you can find that one really bad dude that all 3 of them just hate because he's so shitty to all of them. So like, 3 guys will be like, well, fucking, I hate you, but I don't hate you as much as I hate him. And they turn on him and they take care. That is what we are doing. Simply, everything that the Democratic Party is promising in this campaign that they're going to do, Trump is already working on it. They're talking about free health care. Well, he's attacking pharma. It's like they're promising to come at it from this end if you elect them, but Trump's like chomping at it from this end. So you knock pharma down and healthcare is going to be okay. Guys, trust me. That's all I got to say. Okay? You shut down the opium running, drug dealing mindset of our medical, the people that make our drugs, and actually get people in there that are about health. And you will see dramatic, affordable health care for everyone. So there's healthcare. Now, what else do we have? We have, jobs. The jobs are there, guys. They're there. They're there. You're going to have to take a normal job like I did when I was a kid and improve at that job and move up. And then you'll make more than enough money to get out of mom and daddy's house. It's just you guys have been raised in a instant gratification world that isn't real. Okay? Just take the job that's beneath you. And guys, word of advice to you. The good jobs for the next 20 years are going to be electrician, geothermal, and probably alternative energy. But the one that's easy to get into is electrical. Electrician is rated the hottest. Well, besides a doctor and a lawyer. But not all of us want to be a doctor or a lawyer. But if you want to make a good living in the coming economy, it's not going to be behind a computer in a cubicle, probably. Trump is a building president. He is going to get infrastructure, and the building is going to go retarded. And they're going to need hands on deck. So our younger generation is going to have to understand that they're about to earn their living physically in the real world instead of the way they thought they were going to live on the internet in the fake world. We got to bring these young boys and girls back down to reality and off the broadband. Unplug them from the matrix, or they're not going to survive. I know I've been long-winded on this one, but there's so much going on right now. So much discernment you have to do to figure out what's going on right now. Because it's getting harder and harder to even find the information. Oh, and by the way, I did want to mention, anybody that's in North Carolina, I have started a Facebook page entitled Union County Patriots / militia. Because as I said, I do believe the civil unrest is going to happen. It's just a question of when. Keep your eyes peeled the 16th, though, Sunday. The Dems have taken a pretty couple good losses this year. They're down really, really far. We have came a long way with the momentum on our side. And that's why this Antifa thing may be a big trigger Sunday. I just got to put it out there, guys. That's what my gut's telling me. All right. Well, leave some comments. Tell me what you think as usual. And we'll pick this up later.